like that after the second trip. I have never felt so free, so relaxed that I don't care about like what other people think about me, like what do I think about myself. I just felt like I can be myself and I can do whatever I want and everything is possible, and it was just amazing feeling which I would like to keep inside me.
Of course, you will have temptations to go back to the old ones, or you go back and the family or the friends criticizing again. So, what you will do with that? Because it's a lot of responsibility. I will make my own mistakes. I will stop listening what they want and I will do what I want. And I will take my own risk.
Being able to understand and recognize these temptations and patterns gives you power.
Yeah, because
gives you a
became
choice.
addictions.
Mm.
You became addicted to approval from other people need to like what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Other people have to approve my clothes or how I look. And then you lose your essence. In certain moment you don't know who you are, what you want, what you like, what you don't like. What I want, people will want. So it's the wrong question. If you are here for your own lessons and your own mistakes, if you make the mistake of other people, you are not learning your own lessons. And a lot about boundaries.
Exactly. I wanted to make the point that you really emphasized on being assertive and about setting the boundaries. And I think for me, going back into my life now, that's something that I will have to practice on a daily basis, to not forget everything that I learned here and how much I developed myself. I don't want to go back to how I was before.
So you didn't know how to set boundaries.
No.
Why? When this started?
I think it's a people-pleasing mechanism. In one of the workshops, we talked about attention. It was a word tuning exercise, and I think for me as a child, getting attention was also always connotated when doing something positive. So then I was getting attention. So I think there I started forming the habit of trying to please people, trying to give other people a positive feeling so that they would give me attention. Um, and it's not healthy because
Was creating what? This compulsion to please people? What was creating inside of you?
I think resentment, because people were not giving me the same thing back, and I was it led to being passive aggressive, to not speaking my mind, but I was becoming angry and resentful, and
You were not aware that you were passive aggressive.
yeah, I wasn't aware.
You didn't know what it was.
No, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
During our one-on-one conversation, you brought it up, and I was shocked. Am I really passive aggressive? But then during the retreat, I thought about it more, and I started to realize, thinking about my relationships with different people, that I am passive aggressive, and that I do that sometimes. So it's yeah, starting to work on that now.
Yeah, the solution is to start setting boundaries in an assertive way.
Yes.
But talk. No, I will not do this because I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are a people pleaser, how can you say no? And how can you say that I don't like something?
Mm-hmm.
But in the moment you say it, you are free. You don't need to be passive aggressive anymore because you are not angry anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's to respect your essence, to love yourself. It's so common that people, they feel that they don't have the right to say no. Some people know that they are not that important, that you don't have the right to complain or to say no, I don't like this, I don't like that. No, why you don't have the right? Something happened when you were a child that you learned that you don't have the right.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go back and discover, was that day with this person. And what about the shadow workshop for you? What did you discover?
So actually, the day before we had the shadow workshop, I actually found or a shadow self in myself during the ayahuasca trip. And at that point, I didn't really know what to do with it. The shadow self was insecure, afraid, and in my daily life, I resent people who are insecure and afraid. I look down upon them. So seeing that in myself, I was a bit afraid. I didn't know what to do with it. But then the next day, when we learned about our shadow self and how we can recognize it, it totally made sense that it is somehow the opposite from what you are trying to be. And it also made sense for me that you have to accept your shadow self in order to work on it, and also to be aware of these hidden parts of yourself. So then in the next ayahuasca trip, I found another shadow self who was a bit of an evil Aline inside me. An Aline that enjoys, or I wouldn't say enjoy, but who doesn't mind hurting other people. And maybe that again was my passive aggressive self who was, if you hurt me, I hurt you back, but I don't want to really hurt you. So I accepted her, and it's something that is inside me and that I have to work on in order to grow as a person.
You need to be very courageous to accept that you have an evil part and say, okay, I have this, but I don't want
Yeah.
this evil
Yeah.
in myself. At least now you know you have to work
Yeah.
in this characteristic.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you discover with the spirit releasement?
I had a lot of body issues from my like teenage years when I was like developing, and like a lot of boys were making fun of my body, like of my breast or of my like hips, and so I felt like big pain in my chest actually, because I remember like as a kid I was very ashamed of my breast, like I was slouching, is the word? Slouching a lot because I didn't want like people to see that I have a breast. I remember I was trying to wear like a lot of like tight things, and I was thinking that maybe I'm gonna put like the bandage around my chest so nobody's gonna see that I got breast, and it was very very like painful to think about the time, like why did I feel like that. And then it was again like big relief when I sent all of those people to vacuum and send them to the hospital and just put them away, because it wasn't from my home, because like my family, like they have never said anything about my body, but it was school and like other kids or like physical education teacher who tells you that you can't climb because you are too big, which was nonsense. Mostly when I look at the pictures from that time, I look at myself and I was actually very skinny. Like I know that there was a time in high school when I had bulimia and I was throwing up the food. That was actually the first time when I decided to find help, and I found a psychologist. But I just had like the 2 sessions with her, and then I thought like, no, that's not for me. Because I think I didn't have any support like from my family. Like I didn't even like talk about it. So that one was a big relief for me to send all those thoughts, all those people away, and just accept myself as I am. And I mean, I started this journey of like accepting my body. I don't know, it was like 6 years ago, and I thought like, yeah, I love my body, I'm good. But when we had this workshop, like everything came back again, and I was like, oh my god, okay, maybe I'm still not like, still not good with that. But after the workshop, again, like I thought, yeah, I can just do that. I can just send people to the, put them into the vacuum and send them to the hospital. I
You are
believe
talking
in-
about the bullies. the
Yeah.
people who were criticizing
Yeah.
you, putting
Yeah.
you down.
Yeah.
So basically, you live all your life with shame,
Yeah.
excessive shame.
Yeah.
First years of primary school, I felt very pretty. And it's funny that you can see that on pictures that I was always like a kind of posing. But then like after I got my period and I was like developing, like on each picture, I'm like somewhere in the corner and I don't want to like show my body.
So it's
Yeah.
not good to become a woman.
Yeah.
It's about your, about your sex also, to be a woman and to be desired and to realize that children are joking, but also there is desire there,
Yeah.
a lot of shame, or that you were wrong, doing something very wrong, like a sin.
Yeah.
Is something about religious sin?
Religious?
Yeah.
Maybe yes, because so I'm from very like Catholic family,
Mm-hmm.
and you know like as you have to like tell your sins to the priest, and all the time I felt so guilty. For example, when I was masturbating as a teenager, and I was thinking I will go to the hell. Like I shouldn't do that. Like that's not healthy. Um, so maybe it comes from that as well. Like yeah, just like the shame around the whole body.
You have also the same problem about shame growing up?
I was quite conscious that I was chubby. I felt chubby
You
as a
were
kid.
chubby.
Yeah. I remember whenever we used to go swimming every week at school, and I would always, once we'd changed and we were in our swimming clothes, no shirt, I would be walking like this to hide what I thought were my man boobs. Looking back on it, I was a bit chubbier than I am today, but I don't think by much. And I just always compared myself to my friends and the other kids in my school, and there were some very skinny and sporty kids, and I always felt bad next to them about myself. So I couldn't wait to either get in the pool where people wouldn't be able to see me, or to get back out and put clothes back on. And that persisted for a long time, actually. It's only recently that I've started to feel comfortable walking around with no shirt on. And it felt really good yesterday, actually, during the day ceremony. I don't think I had a shirt on once I'd gone in the pool, and I didn't feel the need to. I was conscious that there could be people looking at me, but it was just something I didn't need to worry about.
So you were carrying all of that, eyes watching you in your back,
Yes.
because your posture it was like this,
Yeah.
like heavy or hiding. You have, that is so common, no? When you don't like your body, it's wrong.
Yeah.
I think parents don't realize how difficult it is for children when they are growing to accept their own bodies. They don't realize that it's so important to talk about this and to tell the children you are beautiful, I love you unconditionally. It's never enough for a child to listen these things and to believe it, because normally people grow with a lot of shame and guilt. Because of what? Nothing. It was difficult, preparation before coming here was easy. How was that?
I found it very difficult to see the big picture and understand what the diet was for. And it wasn't until I think we got here to Brazil that I was able to just accept it.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of resistance
So much resistance.
and very, very close, no? That even though you were suffering, you were in pain, you were not open to something that can help me.
I was very aware that I should be open and accepting and let go this resistance, but I clung to it. And it was very difficult for
Like
me.
no way out.
Yeah,
You are in the corner.
yeah.
You cannot go anywhere because any place I choose it, I will do something.
Hmm.
Instead of seeing what you can gain or what you can lose,
Yes.
or being ridiculous. You
Yeah.
know, that why am I doing this stupid thing?
It didn't help also that in Slovakia it's very difficult to go and out to a restaurant and eat anything vegetarian. It can be very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And because elements of the diet were so specific, um, it was it felt like we needed to go to a vegan restaurant to find anything that we could eat, and those are hard to find. And it's a very meat eating culture. So May's family and her sister, they're all. We would go and eat with them, and they would, say we'd eat something vegetarian, and we'd offer them some. And they were like, "Oh, no, I don't want any of that." And I was like, "No, I don't either."
And how do you feel now with the diet after these 9 days eating this food?
I understand what it was for, what the diet was for, and
It's like before you were heavy, like
yeah,
dense,
yeah,
nothing can enter. Now you are lighter and more subtle.
yes,
You catch subtleties.
yes,
And I think the diet had a lot to do, no? What are you eating? What are you type of water are you drinking? Is pure water? Are you taking chemicals that close you or open to different possibilities that I don't know now? I don't know everything. You thought you knew everything.
yeah. Well, so today at breakfast, there was cocoa, cacao, and some chocolatey stuff. And I also was very naughty, and I ate 2 pieces of watermelon instead of 1.
No, but today you can because it's the last day of the retreat.
But
That rule is during the retreat.
no, I understand.
Yeah.
I also had some coconut water, and suddenly I could feel the sugar inside me, even though it wasn't, compared to how much I have eaten in the past, it was practically nothing. But I could feel it. I can still feel it, actually. I feel like I've become much more aware of my body and how I feel.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is super good. Because now you will catch different things that you were completely closed
Yeah.
to that. You think rational mind, but based on nothing. Just no.
For me, it was like a challenge, and I'm like, I'm gonna accept this challenge.
Good.
And I didn't have a problem with like not eating meat or not eating like milk products or alcohol, because I don't usually like eat a lot anyway. But yeah, like the sweet stuff was challenging for me, and also
So normally
coffee.
you eat a lot of sugar.
I don't eat a lot of like I eat good sugar. Like if I go for chocolate, I go for good quality chocolate, or like I eat a lot of fruits. So
Yeah, but it's a lot
that's,
of sugar.
that's a lot of sugar.
Natural sugar.
Natural sugar.
But it's
yeah.
sugar.
Yeah. And then also coffee, but I started with coffee month before coming here, because some of my friends told me that when you stop drinking coffee, then like you have like withdrawal symptoms, but after that you feel more energized. And actually it's true, like after I stopped drinking coffee in the morning, I feel more energized, and I don't feel like, oh, I'm so tired, I need coffee. Like I feel like, yeah, I just wake up and I just go with my day.
So it was good for your body.
Yeah, I feel lighter.
And you, Aline, you lost weight.
Yeah.
You didn't want to lose weight. Probably you are a few of the people that they don't want to lose weight.
Yeah. I feel like I worked very hard over the last months to gain muscle, and so I was a bit afraid before coming here that I would lose weight, because I am a vegetarian. The eating clean wasn't really a problem, but like you mentioned before, it's the carbs and probably as well the lack of salts that made me lose weight, and I think it's fine. I will gain it back. And also, like you mentioned, for me it was the coffee. I was very addicted to coffee. I think even when I was here, I was probably still having some of the withdrawal headaches, maybe.
Because you didn't quit long time ago.
I did quit, but only 2 weeks before, and it was
very little.
yeah. And because I've been drinking coffee for years, it was I never stopped before. But I also feel the same, that now I feel much more focused, and I think I was using coffee as as an excuse to feel that I thought it would bring me focus, but actually it probably gave me anxiety and not focus. So
Good.
Yeah.
So at the end was better for you
Yes.
too. And we eat vegan, but we eat a lot of proteins coming from plants. For example, we have a lot of. I planted a lot of Ora pronobis. It's a plant that the leaves are delicious, but they have more protein than meat, for example. And we eat a lot of protein. So it's just an idea that
Yeah.
you will lose the muscle you build. No, you don't lose that.
Yeah.
You lose liquid,
Yeah.
but more clarity, because the sugars, the sweet, not only sugar, the sweet, bring addictions and symptoms that you realize only when you stop. Like, for example, anxiety or problems to sleep, or you crave food because you eat something sweet and then you want more. Yeah, it's not because you are hungry, you want more food. So start craving. Then you are free of that and you have more energy to discover other things, to put in something more productive. You discover an ancestor in you yesterday.
Yeah.
What happened?
So we had it was in the first hour of the day ceremony, and I was becoming very conscious of how much tension I'm carrying in my body, but at that time specifically in my hands. I was showing you earlier, I've always had very unsteady hands, but today they actually feel very good.
Just
But
for the movie.
So yesterday I was literally shaking like this, and I remembered a lot of memories of just, it's sort of been a reality of my life that I've had very unsteady hands, and when I was learning to write in primary school, my teachers always told me that my writing was too messy, which now that I think about it was quite shaming for me. Now I love my writing. I think it's not neat. A lot of people say it's quite spidery, but I think I like it. I can read it. But I was trying to ask, why has this been a reality of my life, that my hands are unsteady? And I tried to scan my body like we've done in the exercise.
So you did it. You didn't try. You did it.
Yes, I did it. And I couldn't find anywhere in my body besides my shaking hands. And I tried to put a face to it, and I couldn't.
You put it.
At first I couldn't. And I eventually traced it back to this picture of a Victorian lady, which my dad and I found in my grandmother's attic. After she died, we cleared out her house, and we found so much interesting stuff. And among all of that, there was a box of photos and newspaper articles of great uncles of mine and great grandparents, and further back, and there's a picture of this Victorian lady. It's very sort of stereotypical Victorian photo. She sat very upright with a really stern expression, like she's really unhappy to be having this photo taken. And hers was the image that I thought that she was doing a lifetime of physical labor with her hands, like weaving or sewing or something, and that it's just left her with this sort of shake. And but I didn't ask her what her purpose was.
But now, if you think on her and you, what do you have in common? You two.
Nothing but blood.
And what else? What characteristic you have in common?
Maybe this very stern, unapproachable, even exterior sometimes.
I imagine that takes a lot of energy to have this posture, like, no, a lot of tension. And you mentioned so many times your shame, the shame, the shame. When you are full of shame, you don't want people to realize.
No.
You don't want to show, so you need a lot of energy to repress. And something have to shake.
Yeah.
No? And the fear and the repression, both. Of course, something will. The body will talk.
Yeah.
It's a message for you. See, something is happening. Ask, what is the message? What is that I don't know now?
Yeah, especially when I was a child, I was very conscious of not wanting to be laughed at. I didn't want to be. I found it very embarrassing when people made a joke of me for whatever reason. And I wanted to draw as little attention as possible, so I would sort of hunch and make myself small and hide.
Yeah, and even you don't want to move a lot, like
No.
became invisible.
Yeah.
A lot of strength.
Yeah.
I imagine, feeling this.
Yeah. I mean, even sitting here doing this, the whole time, I've been noticing tension and trying to let go.
Good.
Or letting go.
Yeah. See? Now you know.
I need to stop doing
But
this.
you are seeing yourself, you are talking and now you are paying attention. What am I doing?
Yeah.
What is my posture? What I am feeling? This is the real exercise. Seeing yourself. And then you can start understanding.
Yeah.
But even though you are much more spontaneous and loose, whatever you are carrying now in your bag, eventually you will remove all of this and you will see the difference.
Yeah.
How it is removing all these people, these beliefs from your bag.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your collaboration, and I hope you have a wonderful time in Itacaré. And it was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
Thank you.